And good evening, everybody. We are live on the Freak Show, the V2A Freak Show, edition number 4. Hello, everybody, and witness, everybody. People are starting to join the group chat. Witness and our special guests tonight. Well, first of all, let's go round. We have Mechanized.
Howdy, good evening, and hello, world. Hope you're all doing well.
And then we go over to Skellyweg.
The peas are very good, Norma.
Always, I have no idea what that means, but there you go.
Oh,
over
dear.
to Stig.
I can't find any peas. They've all gone. They're all rolled off the plate.
Oh, my God.
God knows. Hello, world.
Hello, world.
Dear.
And everybody, please welcome our special guest, Steve Sholtz from the Silverton Collective.
Oh, it's all over. Let's go.
Good morning, Steve, or good evening, everybody else. If you're online, guys, say hi, say where you're from, where you are in the world. Do a big witness out to Steve. Steve, how are you, sir?
Well, we have to say Steve sits on the other side of the world.
Yeah, so Steve, where are...
It's still dark.
Okay,
here.
whereabouts are you, Steve?
I'm in Adelaide, South Australia.
Okay, well, first of all, if you'd like to explain to everybody your persona at the Wasteland Weekend, and also sort of how did you sort of get into Mad Max? So Emil Minty on the last show, he says you're an awesome guy. He says you're absolutely a fanatic, and his question was, how did you first get into Mad Max, and where did all this start?
All right, I say I was in high school and Mad Max came out and couldn't see it because it was R-rated. So my first experience with the first Mad Max movie was a girlfriend's going away party in year 10. And we'd managed to procure a video recorder from somewhere and a copy of Mad Max. So instead of kind of like celebrating our relationship and saying goodbye to her, we just watched Mad Max all night. It was fucking amazing. I'm so sorry, but you're leaving. But now I've got Mad Max. So that was a good.
That was very good. Was that Mad Max 1 or 2?
That was Mad Max 1. It had only just come out on video at that stage, I think, and was very hard to get hold of. My introduction to Mad Max 2, however, was much more spectacular. I got to see it at a drive-in at Clare, because I grew up on a farm, and I had my dad's farm ute, and I drove up there by myself to see it. And the farm ute was a Falcon XB ute. Well, it could have been an XA. I don't know. It was Max's car, but it was a ute version of Max's car.
Oh, my God.
So I'm sitting there behind the wheel of the same vehicle, sort of, watching this film, losing my mind. And then I got to drive home. So I'm amazed I made it home in one piece, because I was like tearing down these dark country roads at faster than I should ever be going, thinking I'm being chased by all the marauders and the bad guys. That was an experience.
Oh, my God.
So you had no trouble with the bronze catching on that one?
Not that night.
Yeah, I must admit, for me, when I first saw Mad Max 2, because I saw Mad Max 2 first, I was like a small kid in a little village with a boomerang. I was the only person with a boomerang. Absolutely shit with it. I could never get the thing to come back. And when it did, there's no way you're going to try and catch this thing. It's lethal. I suppose that's the idea, really, isn't it?
You can catch it. That's why you have a chainmail glove.
Oh, right. So how did you then get into the actual sort of Wes cosplay and taking it to the next level?
Well, for the longest time, like all through the late 80s, I was the only Mad Max fan in my kind of group of friends. Nobody else was really into it. And I'd made a few other costumes, but it kind of was just like, well, there's nobody to share it with. It just kind of was always one of my passions, but it just was there. We couldn't express it in any way. And then discovered the broader Mad Max community that was happening all over the world. And discovered the Silverton Collective in 2013. So it went from there. It was like, oh my God, there are actually other people who love Mad Max a lot, and got a chance to be a part of it. And then it just grew and blossomed from there. I mean, I used to always do the Mad Max 2 version of Max, and that was a fun costume to do. And oh my God, going to the pinnacles in that full leather costume, climbing the pinnacles with the 4 fuel cans across your shoulders was one of the most brutal experiences I ever did. But damn it, I did it. So that's my claim to fame.
Oh my God! Wow.
But
So what is?
leading up?
Carry on.
Yep. Leading up to Wasteland Weekend, I'd been toying with trying to get the Wes character right. I'd done it a couple of times at a convention and at the second Silverton event that I went to. Although my first attempt at the chaps was disastrous, to say the least. They were not fitting properly. Nothing was covered. The boys were popping out left, right, and centre. So it was like, yeah, sorry, everyone look away from Wes. He's just, no, this is not good. So a lot of practice in the mirror. He's got a lot of very subtle facial expressions that kind of, he had to rein things in a bit more. My first 2 appearances were mostly just screaming and growling for cameras and photographs and stuff, and it was too much. It was too much, just over the topness. Yeah. There's a moment in Mad Max 2 that informs Wes a great deal, I think, and that's just before the truck. Just before Max makes a run for it, and he is meditating. He's just sitting there in the quiet, eyes closed. He could be sleeping for all we know. But yeah, there's that moment of meditation that I think informs him of his kind of warrior spirit. He's not just a mad dog, crazy lunatic. He actually sort of has this sense of zen about him as well, which I'd like to think is part and parcel of the reason he's survived so long and why he's second in charge, essentially. So bringing a bit more of that into it, bringing that quietness into it, was important. But it's also about the eyes. Yeah. One thing he does, he's just crazy eyes. So practicing the crazy eyes, just getting the eyes bugging out was kind of like the important thing to capture the character. So by then, everything was coming together. I mean, and by the time you do the hair and add all the accoutrement, it becomes a character that you can really be. For cosplayers, I discovered that's essential. If you role play a character, it's best to find a character who has character. Yeah. So many good guys are just, they don't have anything to do. A couple of one-liners and a sideways glance. But Wes is just full of little idioms and little crazy little throwaway pieces. It was a hell of a lot of fun to do him. And of course, you get to have your ass hanging out as well.
Well, there is that.
Yeah, which we've seen a lot of.
We saw a lot of your bottom at the last Wasteland Weekend. So, quick shout out. We've got the Ministry of Steampunk on. We've got Terry, or as we like to shout out,
Terry.
No Terry. Would you like to shout out to anybody over in Australia?
Well, I want to send a big shout out to all the Silverton Collective and Adrian and Linda at the Mad Max Museum. They've had a little bit of time to work on the museum up there. Yeah. So, it's looking great. It's going to be so exciting for them to be able to share all their upgrades and their improvements for everybody when they finally come.
So before we get on to what the Silverton Collective is, we're just going to have one quick go of we've got a game we play every week, or every show, the Celebrity Thunderdome. It's rather popular. So all it is we've got 16 of the world's top fighters in the casket of doom. Every show I take out 2. One will be yours, Steve. The other one will be Skelly's, and you have 30 seconds to explain to the audience why your fighter should win. Okay, so the last 2 fights we had Jar Jar Binks versus a Tribble, and Jar Jar won. We didn't know he was Welsh, but he went through on that one. And poor old Mr. Minty, he did awesome. So it was Harry Potter versus a Dalek, and Harry Potter with the Feral Kids boomerang won and went through on that one. So are you ready? Are you ready? Shall we?
I'm ready.
Let's get this party started. First of all, what's everybody drinking? I am on weird Swedish cider. Anybody else?
I'm on Hobgoblin Gold.
What are you drinking online, guys? Post up
Gin.
what gin.
Blood orange Negroni
And Steve,
for me.
as it's about 7:30 in the morning, are you probably on coffee?
Cup of tea, mate.
A cup of tea. That's very,
Rock and roll.
very British of you. Very British. Okay, so the first name. Okay, so we're going to pull two names out of the hat. Okay, right. We have Stig. Your fighter will be
Me or Skelly?
Two celebs enter, one celeb.
Is Mary?
I mean,
Please.
Steve.
I'm not fighting.
Is
I'm not
Mary
fighting.
Poppins?
Give Steve's
So
fighter
Skelly,
first.
Skelly,
Oh!
Skelly, you've got Mary Poppins. Steve,
Oh,
your fighter is Erik Vader, who's Darth Vader's less successful cousin. Okay. Okay, so Steve, you have
I
you
smell a
have
fix.
All of a sudden, mad.
no, that's true. So Steve, you have 30 seconds to explain to the audience why Erik Vader, Darth Vader's less successful cousin, is going to kick Mary Poppins' ass. Over to you, Steve.
All right, so Erik, he's a bit of a lad. He's not too tied up with the Empire, all that sort of stuff, but he gets to borrow all the Empire's stuff. So you just pop around and borrow the Death Star, nick the keys off Vader's night table, and just take it for a spin around. So if he sees Mary Poppins with his Death Star, he's just going to blow that bit away. She's not going to stand a chance. There's no amount of goddamn cartoon penguins are going to save Mary Poppins. She's going to be looking down the front of a gigantic super laser that is just going to absolutely toast her ass. So, and there's also a few 100,000 TIE fighters and Star Destroyers on his back as well. He owes everybody a couple of bob for, a couple of jobs he's done, so they'll help him out. And there's a couple of bounty hunters in there as well he hangs out with, They're not very good ones, but they know how to drink.
All the crap ones, but they can drink. Okay, well that was very good. That was you. I think you did Erik. You did Erik a great service there. And now over to Skelly. 30 seconds while Mary Poppins is going to fight back.
Oh boy. Well,
It's gone well.
as this Erik Vader. All these toys might have access to. I think at heart he's still just a naughty but neglected child. And who does better with naughty and neglected children than the super nanny, the Mary Poppins? Added to the fact that she's obviously the mistress of the arcane arts. She can fly. She can summon things out of nowhere. She's the reason Dick Van Dyke started to drink. So she'll do some arcane mystical bull-doofickery and send this Death Star away to some cartoon universe populated by penguins. She'll take Erik to the toy rooms and send him to bed early, deal with all his childhood angst, and then he'll actually turn out to be a reformed character, and then no more Empire for him. So, job's a good one. and then she'll float away. So there'll be a musical number, a big paycheck for Disney, all in a day's work.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Okay, well it's now over to the audience. You've heard both.
That's hard one. That is a very hard one this
that's
time.
a hard one.
Jeez.
We've heard both champions on that. So, is it going to be Mary Poppins or is it Erik Vader? We will know.
I didn't know you could make them up.
Somebody didn't know who Erik Vader was.
I don't read enough extended Star Wars universe, do I? Damn.
No, I think I just made it up.
It's all Disney IP though.
I just made it up to be honest.
Isn't it? So it's all a paycheck for them. They're the real winners.
Okay,
at the
a
end
quick
of this, aren't
one
they?
back though. So, Steve, what is the Silverton Collective?
All right. Well, we're a bunch of mates who just go and hang out and party.
Okay. So
That's
that's a good Australian
Simples.
answer. That is. So Silverton, why is the name Silverton important?
All right. So I don't know, the group evolved over the years. We have an event at Broken Hill and Silverton every 2 years. Different people have run the event over the course of the last 5 events. and I've picked up the last 2 events to run, and it's just a bit of a giggle. It's a chance for us to get together and just share our love of Mad Max. The cool thing is, we just happen to be in the middle of the place where they made the movies, so we can go and visit all the cool locations. And the amazing thing is, these places haven't changed any part of their aesthetic since the movies were made. You go to the Pinnacles, you might have literally have stepped onto the film set the day after they finished filming. It's so uniquely untouched. It's mind blowing. Even the little tiny tree on top of the Mundi Lookout has barely grown. I mean, it's a desert. So this thing is barely taller than what it was 40 years ago. It's just the most magical and beautiful experience that any Mad Max fan could possibly hope to achieve.
What's the special event next year? Because Emil was talking about that.
So during the course of the last few years, we kind of realised something's coming up and we want to do something special for it. 2021 is going to be the 40th anniversary of the release of Mad Max 2. Now, we're going to be a few months early, but we'll just round it out. And we wanted to really, really, really create the experience that we've had ourselves over the last 5-6 years. And we have so much fun. I mean, this is not an experience that we kind of promoted too heavily. And it's always been kind of like a tight-knit little family, very enthusiastic and just enjoying the experience. We usually camped out at the hostel, and it was just cars everywhere, and it was such a great, cool experience. So we're going to take the core of that and upgrade it into something a little bit more spectacular. And one of the things that we're really, really excited about is the Demolition Derby with a Mad Max theme.
Oh, my God.
That stuff is going to be nuts. So one of the guys on our committee, Mr. Terry Fletcher, is busy coordinating with all the Demolition Derby groups in Australia. So the aim is to do the first ever official or unofficial Mad Max themed Demolition Derby in Broken Hill.
Wow. Also, there's a bit of news as well, because we are coming over. We're going to be playing there. That will be our first ever Australian gig ever.
Well, hopefully you guys aren't go for drive out in the middle of the desert somewhere and get lost, and we have to send out search parties for you.
We will. Looking for kangaroos.
Yeah,
well, there's plenty of those. Although there's been drought up there for a long, long time. And even over the course of the last few years of going up there on a semi-regular basis, the roos are just disappearing. So hopefully with the rains and stuff they've had, the reservoirs have been topped up, there'll be a bit more of them again. But we used to drive up there. There'd be roo carcasses all over the road. It'd be just this constant smell of death on the road heading up the Broken Hill. Last trip, not so much. They're just not around anymore. They've moved on. So it's very. I mean, it's tough out there. Broken Hill relies on tourism a great deal. So we're really proud that we've been able to work with the local community, with the council, and actually create an event that will bring people in and help bolster the tourism industry in Broken Hill for that period. So yeah, we're looking. We're not just doing this for ourselves. We're looking very much at serving the greater Broken Hill community and working with them, which is
we have
really
a member
exciting.
of the cult of V2A. We have Freakaroo, which is part man, well, part kangaroo, part death machine, part bear.
Part bear. Part freak bear.
So we'll have to show you a picture of him sometime. We'll have to send that over. But we have Freakaroo, who is going to challenge Mechanized to is it a Thunderdome fight?
Yep.
No, the challenge has already gone down.
What?
Yeah.
All right, so I've got to build you a Thunderdome. All right, good.
Well, yeah. There's that minor point, yeah.
I can see in the background there are rather a lot of very small people in the distance because they're far away, or toys. Are you a collector, sir?
Oh, some would use the term collector. Sad bent is one of the ones I'd use, but no, look, I do love my toys. I went through that period where you go, oh, I collect toys. I'm very sad. Anyway, I got over that, and now I just accept the fact that it's something that I really enjoy doing, and yeah, gives me a great deal of fun. And when my clients come over for a tattoo, they love it. They'll spend half their bloody tattoo session just gazing around the room at all the different stuff to look at.
What's your tattoo studio called, by the way?
The Tattoo Toy Room Emporium.
Can we find it on the internet? Is there a
link?
link?
Actually, there's other way. I'm sure I can put one up somewhere.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Send it to us, and we will add it to the stream. So, what kind of stuff do you collect toy-wise?
I don't know, mostly movie and film-related memorabilia. Not so much Transformers and G.I. Joes, that sort of stuff. Mostly just probably Star Wars is the backbone. That was a little kid I was collecting back then. But, yeah, any new film franchise that comes up, it just kind of like, ooh, I know if I've enjoyed a film because I go, oh, my God, I want a toy of that. And it's like, yeah, that's how my enjoyment.
Unless it's a porn film, and then that's just wrong.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I got a couple of characters. I did a Braveheart figure with a huge schlong at one point, so yeah.
Oh dear.
It's the Mel Gibson.
So
There we go. So, just because we know you're a big collector of toys, we have a new feature called Bunker or Bin, where we have picked possibly the two greatest knockoff toys we could find. Let me just put this on the screen for everybody.
Okay, which one was that? Was that one the Hulk figure? I can't see a picture. Oh yeah.
In a blanket.
Oh God, that thing. Oh my God, that's. Yeah, I loved the beautiful sculpting and the very, very subtle paint applications.
Yeah, the detail in it.
Oh wow, it was just.
I'm looking the franchise
whoever
name.
was working the paint application machine that day really had their stuff together. So let's have a quick look here.
Patrick.
Star Wars Seals.
I think the forehead is a lot to answer for. There's a lot of forehead. Yeah.
The incredible fella.
I want to see Door Ladder.
He's better than the all right fella, isn't he? He's incredible.
The incredible fella.
He's an incredible fella.
A reverendous fella.
I'm worried about this eternal tussle. How long's that been going on for? You know, so it sounds a bit dangerous. There's a bit of a tussle in the universe. We need the Revengers. Revengers, get together.
Okay, then, guys. Yeah. Out of those two, so we had the Yoda, whatever the Yoda thing was, the Mr. Miyagi Yoda.
Wise puppet.
Yeah, very creepy. With the but you can get the additional figures of Karate Farmer, Wise Puppet, and was it Door Ladder?
I think that the figure is Wise Puppet that you're looking at, the Mr. Miyagi. That's Wise Puppet.
That is
That's
Wise
his name.
Puppet.
From the popular franchise Star Wars Seals.
What if Karate Farmer's any relation to
I think I've
Farmers?
got him.
No.
Wait a second.
You know. Okay, guys online, which is your favourite? Is it the Star Warsiers or the Revengers Endless Tussle with the incredible fella?
Oh no, that's a knockoff Wise Puppet. That's a fake.
Do you reckon? I like it. I like
not the
his
real wise
haircut.
puppet.
We've got to vote for the wise puppet
Do
from
we?
Finland. Mad Matt's and Mr. Miyagi too. Wise puppet seems to be getting at the moment. Woda.
Well, you
Woda.
want to collect the set. If we could get
Oh
door
no!
ladder.
What have you got? What's Steve got?
Oh.
Steve's got a.
Yeah, wise puppet for the bin.
There
I'm
we
with
go,
you,
look.
Martin. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Steve's got a Yoda puppet. So yeah, one goes in the bin, one goes in the bunker. So is it Mr. Miyagi?
Rose,
Is it
good
Mr.
taste.
Is it the bin
Is it
inside the
Mr.
bunker?
Miyagi? Yeah, well, probably by the toilet. Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi for the bunker to provide wise sayings and gentle instruction and soft back massages during the course.
And protect you
of
from
the,
door ladder. Keep door
I'd love
ladder
to-
away from
What
you.
is door ladder? Is that going to be like Darth Vader?
It's
Do you think?
oh yeah. Well, Darth Vader's just a fake knockoff door ladder.
Well, that,
It
You know,
looks
for
like
people that haven't
it
seen
looks
Star
like
Wars
fellas,
seals.
fellas going in the bin. That's the
So
one.
does door ladder have a cousin that none of us have heard of?
What?
Shelf
stacker.
probably. Anyhow, back to you, Steve. Back to you. So there was a little bit of what can I say? A bit of a run-in with the War Boys last year. Would you like to elaborate on exactly what happened? Because I think we have quite a few of the War Boys on.
What, and how he dropped V2A in the shit?
Well, I think we should explain.
Like proper in the shit, and we did not even know about it.
Over to you, Steve.
Well, we had just gone on a drive around Wasteland Weekend. All 14 of our vehicles and all 40 of us dogs of war under the command of the Lord Humongous. And it was a lovely day. There was a bit of a stiff breeze. My chaps weren't chafing too hard.
That's always a plus.
And it was like, I didn't want it to end. You know, we wanted to kind of do something more. So I grabbed Dee, who was my golden youth, and I said, all right, let's go and do something else. Let's go and visit Immortan Joe. Let's see if he's got anything we could like grab and hold hostage and create a bit of a ruckus, because we had just had a kind of like a tribal alliance formed. We do our yearly tribal alliance with the Dogs of War and the War Boys. So we thought, all right, let's stir up some stuff. So we rode over and went and visited the Immortan. He's sitting there up on his great throne, surrounded by war boys. We take a knee and we offer our fealty, and we kind of scanning around the interior of the Citadel. And well, frankly, they got bugger all in there. There's nothing worth taking. It's just like, there's a cardboard sign and this is a waste of time. So we said, all right, thanks, guys. We were looking for the V2A camp, actually. We're looking for you guys. So, and they sort of gave us the vague directions to find you. Look for the big flag and the mountain of
vodka.
beer cans out front. So, anyway, as we were leaving, Immortan got up and left his war club sitting on his throne. And Dee and I are outside going, did you see that? He left his war club alone. I go, yeah, all right, I'll start the bike. You go back in there, see if you can grab it, and we'll just go. All right, so I've got the bike going. Next thing I know, Dee's on the back of the bike. She goes, go, 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 go. And we're like tearing off around the Exxon Valdez and down the Black Thumb and disappear. And we're like, holy crap, have you got it? He goes, yeah. Oh, my God. So we thought, all right, let's make our way back to camp. Let's go through all the back roads and just try and see if we can sneak our way back to camp. Well, that didn't last long, did it? Because across, like one big row across, we glimpse a war boy truck loaded with war boys, all screaming and waving thunder sticks and pointing at us. And we're like, holy crap, this is amazing. This is so cool. So we go off-road. We start diving in behind all the camps and in between tents and trying to find a way to hide and stay out of the view. But we were overwhelmed, and they chased us down. And the guy comes over and he's like, all right, and Ace is there. He's like, all right, guys, that was great. But you guys are in so much trouble right now.
Yes.
So we were told, look, this prop is extremely valuable, extremely hard to replicate. And, if it was broken or anything, there would be just dire consequences. So we were very apologetic. We said, listen, we're just trying to have a bit of fun, we weren't being serious or anything. But we were instructed that we must return to the Citadel and apologise to Immortan Joe. So we thought, all right, well, we won't do that too quickly. We made our way over to V2A. We found their camp. And we got to admit, we were pretty high by the time we got there. We were pretty pumped up. We're like, oh, this is amazing.
Can I just ask a question? Before you came to us, I think you dropped in that V2A told you to do that.
There was a point of contention there that the V2A were indeed blackmailing us to get this war club for them. So a little bit of effort there on your part. It put us in the poo, that's for sure. There's no denying that. The repercussions are going to be echoed through the centuries. But we eventually found you guys and had a nice little drinky poo, and it was so good to hang out with you guys. It was great to sort of just have you to ourselves.
Oh, definitely.
He's not Wes. He's a very naughty boy.
He got his ass slapped.
Yeah, then mechanized.
Well, we always ass slapping.
Go on then, Mech.
Yeah, I know. That's why you hung your ass out, right?
Of course. You'd be amazed how few people actually just offer their ass slapping services at Wasteland Weekend.
Let's warm it up.
At the 40th event at Mad Max, every second person was grabbing my ass. So,
well, I think after last year, it was very, very nice and soft with all the sunstorms going.
This is a bit too much information for everybody, I think. So Mechanized, you managed to organise a bit of bum slapping for the naughty Wes in.
Yeah. Get the wrath of the war boys on his ass.
And took a photo. That doesn't sound right, actually.
And we took a video. We took a video and send it back to the war boy camp to say nothing to do with V2A.
So also,
the finish off. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
We finished off riding back to the Citadel, and we had to apologise because Immortan Joe, he was pretty pissed. He was angry. I think he's still angry.
Slightly.
He's very angry. Slightly.
I think he was just permanently angry.
He rode in, and we didn't even really have a chance to get off the bike before he sees us ride up. And he goes, "You stay where you are! Don't come any closer!" And he storms up to the entrance, surrounded by war boys. And he goes, "Explain yourselves!" So he dropped a knee and said, "It is not our fault, my lord. There has been much treachery ahead in the wasteland, and V2A have blackmailed us into taking the power that is your war club." It was an amazing experience because none of this stuff was filmed or photographed, or it was just this kind of immersion role-playing event that happened, and it was so bloody fun. Okay.
I do like the way that you blame V2A, because normally we do cause a lot of the trouble, so it is very believable. Like, I feel sorry for Swede at the Wasteland Radio. We always do events where people have to go and do naked star jumps outside of his radio station just for fun, just causes trouble. Also, thank you so much for you and the other Dogs of War who joined us on stage for the 10-year anniversary.
Oh, that was great. That was amazing fun. It was so cold though. The wind. Oh God, the wind was just blowing and it was freezing.
And the snow was flying.
Yeah, so cold. The snow was everywhere.
That was amazing. I got to admit though, I had my moment on the catwalk out the front, and I was just fanging it. I was just going for it. And by the time I stepped back and took my place back in the line again, I'm going, holy crap, Don't pass out. Don't faint. Ah. I was so lightheaded. I was like ready to just collapse. I think it was.
I think that was
nuts.
our world record for the most people on stage. We do that every year, and I think we must have been nearly 50 odd.
Oh, we could feel the floor bowing under our feet. It was really like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah, Jared doesn't like us. After the gig, he doesn't. He stands there wagging his finger.
It's always fun before one of our
year.
gigs at Wasteland Weekend, because even the sound engineer looks at us, and when they see about 30 people backstage ready to go on, it's like, it's V2A, isn't it? Awesome, mate. Awesome. So, what is your? I know. Well, so first of all, are you all safe and stuff over there in Australia? How's everything going? You're just keeping safe?
Yeah, no, it's solid. I mean, obviously, we're in some weird Netflix serial where it seems to be like, oh, what's today's new instructions from the government? Yeah, we just it's everyone's going on about the Australian spirit. If
Totally.
you're doing some shit that you shouldn't be doing, you're gonna get hammered. So yeah, it's very surreal. It's very quiet.
Yeah. And just a big shout out to all our friends who are in the who are doctors and nurses and people who are working at the NHS and stuff.
The
Everybody's
front
doing
line,
an awesome
yeah.
job. So a big witness to all those guys. You're doing an absolutely fantastic job all around the world. Thank you guys for looking after us all.
Not only the nurses, all the shop workers, all the lorry drivers who keep us fed.
Binman
Everybody
too,
who's
taking
doing,
the bins, everyone.
Binmans, everybody who's doing the service, honestly.
So Steve,
But we don't talk
no.
about the
So
C
back
word, don't
to
we?
you though, Steve. So which was your first Wasteland Weekend?
I had the hot one, the one in 2015. And oh my God, driving up to the Wasteland camp for the first time and seeing the gates come up out of the desert. And I knew I was home. This was like everything was leading towards this moment. The only person I knew from the Dogs of War was Tank, who plays Lord Humongous. And I got introduced to the Dogs of War, and we became firm friends right from the start. It was just like, they knew that we had come a long way, so they went out of their way to look after us and kind of ease us into the whole Wasteland Weekend experience. And that first year was hard work. You couldn't wear a costume for more than 10 or 15 minutes because just pouring water. Although luckily enough, the Channel 7 news crew from Sunday was doing a feature piece on me. So every time I needed something, it was like, yes, bring more water.
Yeah.
Bring more this, bring more
Don't
that,
you know
bring
who
more
I am?
ice. We were looked after.
Yes, I was.
We had the pleasure of meeting Vernon last September, while we were over in LA, and that was really fun interviewing him. He is a absolute character, awesome fun.
He's fantastic,
He's really,
yeah.
really funny. We've got Tank coming on the show in a few weeks' time as well. So all hail the Lord Humongous.
Yes. The vermin will inherit the
Mark,
earth.
do we have any update on who's winning the Celebrity Thunderdome at the moment? Because you've got a few more minutes left, guys. Mary Poppins or Erik Vader?
Go, Erik!
I'm sorry, Steve, but Erik is not getting much love on the chat.
Oh, no.
Yep. It seems to be Mary all the way. Oh, blimey, Mary.
Well, he like 3 or 4 votes.
Crikey, is it Mary Poppins?
Yeah, no one knew she was Welsh
Oh, she
either.
Welsh
It's
as well.
amazing.
You can see what she does with that umbrella.
on one of her parents' side.
Yeah.
She's a little bit Welsh. Why?
Not Dick Van Driver's side.
No, well,
Okay,
maybe with the drinking.
so
but who
what?
knows?
Just a quick one.
Cheddar.
Steve? It's a big Australian tradition of drinking. What is your favourite drink?
Oh, God, it's a wasteland drink. Fireball and apple juice.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff is the best.
Fireball.
What is Fireball?
I just showed you.
There's
Oh,
cinnamon
that
whiskey
stuff.
type
Oh
concoction.
my!
Tastes like burning.
They had it at when we played Camden Rocks.
Oh, right.
They had those great big inflatable
In fact, they had a
ones at the
stage
shop.
named after it.
You got hammered on it, Kev.
I can't
That's why you
remember
don't remember.
anything. Come on, Steve. Who have you got there with you, Steve? Who is your technical support?
All right. Come on, Jen. Jen, come in and say hello.
Go on, Jen.
Oh.
Stage fright.
Hey!
Oh.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't have makeup on.
But thank you very much, Jen, for technical support.
And?
No problem. Anytime. This is me.
Is that before and after?
Yes.
That's it. I love the hair. I love what you've done with your hair.
That's after the fireball.
Thank you. I've worked very hard on it.
It's like the worm you put in tequila. It's the skull for the fireball.
So, quick question,
big bucket.
Steve. Our next guest. So what we do is the person we've got on this show, which is you, our celebrity guest, can ask a question to the next one. So our next guest on Saturday night is he's a absolutely stunning cover digital artist for Marvel and DC Comics, a guy called Ryan Brown. Absolute legend. He is super funny. So any question you would like to ask him, sir?
All right. If you could do a cover featuring 2 of the nudest characters that you can think of, who would you do?
That's a good question. That's an awesome question. So just a quick.
And which position would they be in?
Yeah, even better.
Oh God, it's going to be one of those.
I noted that one. I will ask that question for you.
So, as well as Wes, what are the post-apocalyptic outfits? And also, have you got any hints or tips for people building a cosplay costume for the post-apocalyptic one?
I think make it an organic process. I've done Mad Max. I've done one of the Bartertown Guards, which was actually made for the premiere of Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome.
Wow.
That was cool. We actually pissed off the stunt. They had a stuntman there and one of the vehicles from the movie. And his costume was not great. And he saw us and he was furious because we made him look like a dick. And our costumes look authentic. So, I'm just dying on me.
I get a feeling that you like to piss people off.
Sorry?
I get the feeling you like to piss people off.
No.
You lying for start?
I've got a Gay Boy Berserker, a Smegma Crazy, a half-assed Bear Claw.
These sound like cocktails.
But Wes is my favourite. He is absolutely hands down a costume that I've gone to immense effort to catch every little detail as closely as perfectly as possible. But I've got several costumes I take as comfortable outfits to wear to Wasteland Weekend. And I won an award for the last one, which was really cool. But it's an organic process. You kind of just throw a huge pile of crap into the middle of a room and start going through it and see what fits together. You can't really plan it too much. It has to be made from whatever bits and pieces you've got floating around. Fortunately, I have a lot of bits and pieces. But it's just taking the time to weather everything down and damage it, and not too much. It's a balance. It's just an intuition about what's going to look good and what's going to work. And I was so thrilled with how dynamic my costume looked this year at Wasteland in the wind. I saw some video footage of me just walking across the yard sort of thing, and it was billowing, and it just looked, wow. I had no idea it looked so cool. So I was very, very happy with the finished product on that one. That was groovy.
Did you see on the chat, Imperator Devious says Wes is the best.
Well, a big shout out to Dee. She's been my golden youth 2 times now, and she's also like her and Scott, just great friends, and it's really, really cool. They've got their own event over in New Jersey called Apoc East.
Yeah,
and,
we are planned to go, but we have to wait and see how everything develops.
Yes. So congratulations for being able to run an event. Although it blows my mind, every post-apocalyptic event that I'm associated with is desert. And I can't get my head around an environment that's green and leafy, and it just like, that doesn't work for me. So,
well, you have to try it. We've been to Poland and we've been to Czech Republic where it's that way. So they don't have desert. They have like lots of mosquitoes and wetness.
Is the Czech one a disused Soviet?
That's
the Polish one is an Old Town. Junktown is one, and then Old Town is the Polish one.
Junktown is a disused base. Also, we've got our own festival this year. Hopefully, if everything clears up, Haven Outpost. So we're all really, really excited about that. But let's just see how it goes with everything going on at the moment. I think everything's up in the air at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is,
It's a lot of hard work to do all this just to get the experience happening more authentically.
Everybody wants to see you over in Haven,
definitely.
Steve.
And how's your Wes outfit going to be in the more colder English weather? How's your bottom going to be?
Oh, well, I've worn Wes in cold and hot weather, and either is just a pain in the ass because
literally.
Just is like either you're boiling hot or you're freezing cold. So it doesn't cover enough of your body to keep you warm. But when it's hot, it covers too much up and it just makes you just boil. So you can't win. I mean, okay, Golden Youth is not Wes's lover, is not a brother or a nephew. The Golden Youth is Wes's personal assistant. He does hair, makeup, costuming, and attends to his needs. But that's why he loves the Golden Youth so much, because he keeps his hair looking great. So that's all there is to it. Sorry, Vernon. That's the story.
I think
that's the end of it.
That's obviously been boiling up inside you for quite a long time, that one.
Does he sometimes apply sun cream to the arse cheeks as well when you've maybe
One of the years at Wasteland Weekend, we had we were all, it was very sunny. We were getting all sunscreened up. And we're about to go out on a cruise, and somebody asked me if I'd sunscreen my ass, and I go, "All right, which one of you dogs wants to sunscreen the mighty Wes's ass?" And then Bruce jumps up and goes, "I do, my lord." So he's down there just slathering up my butt. And
wax on, wax off.
It's amazing how many people just want to jump in.
Is this why you've got that fascination with Mr. Miyagi, the Yoda bloke, with sort of the wax on, wax off? He did seem to be a bit of a favourite. Mark, do we have a vote on who's bunker and who's bin? Is it Yoda, Miyagi, or the incredible fella?
The impossibly incredible fella is going in the bin. I don't think anybody went for him. Although we did get a couple of votes for Door Ladder, even though he didn't make an appearance. I thought it was quite impressive for
part of the same franchise. Star Wars yours.
It's a tag team.
I do want to collect them all, to be honest. I know it's slightly mad of me, but I do want them all.
Well, you've got to have a hobby, haven't you?
Karate Farmer. What is Karate Farmer?
Well, I guess it's the pajamas he's wearing.
And wellies.
Yeah.
Just say it as
It's
say
an
it as you
unarmed
see
bullet
it.
farmer.
Whoa. Wax on, wax off. Get off my land. Say it as you see it.
Oh, it can't be unseen now.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Okay, Stig, do we have a vote on the Celebrity Thunderdome? Do we have the votes in? Was it Erik Vader, the slightly less impressive cousin of Darth, or was it Mary Poppins?
It's Skelly Poppins, apparently.
Oh my gosh, that's a
So Skelly is now 2-1 up.
Well, chim
Oh my
chim
God,
Miri.
Chim Chim, high five.
Okay,
Double that
back over to
Vaseline.
you, Steve. Any shout-outs you would like to do? All the nutters online around the world?
Well, can
Okay.
we first ask the guys online if they've got any questions they would like to ask Wes, i.e. Steve, before we go to the
That's a
final
very
round?
Very good point. They are just coming up. So, yeah, if you want to
It'll
do a
take 'em a while.
shout-out, Steve, while we're waiting for any other questions.
All right. Well, we're going to do a shout out to the guys from the Silverton Collective, first of all. And yeah, we're all busy working very hard, coming up with all the things we need to do, all the permit planning, permission stuff, and building vehicles and getting costumes ready and making, just a few little bits and pieces to add to the event. So we've got some killer ideas that are going to make the event very unique, I think. Yes, but they're secret at the moment, so you're not allowed to know about them. And big thanks to Jen for helping me this morning. Lovely lady. Got to drag her out of bed. She can go back to bed now. Oh, look, the sun's coming up. It's very pretty. All right. So, and who else? I want to say just a big thank you to everybody who is out there and continuing to work and just be nice to people when you go out shopping and stuff. There's just everyone's working really hard and they're all just living with this idea. So just be nice. When you go to the checkout, just say thank you to the person who's working and stuff. So yeah,
And just give a smile as well. That's what I do.
So huge thank you, big shout out to the Dogs of War, to my boys from all over the world and girls, to Tank and Faye and Catherine and Paul and everybody. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Phil and Kylie, my family in America, and just everybody. Everybody in Wasteland Weekend.
Also,
Yes.
Everyone I know. So, Steve, we've got a question from Mad Matt. Wants to know what your favourite action figure is.
Ooh, good
You have to
question.
do it quietly, because
Don't
if
say door
if
ladder.
the people on the shelf hear you, there'll be trouble.
They don't say door ladder.
Say door ladder.
More often than not, it's one of the new ones that turns up. There's always sort of, it's always the new ones that take my fancy. But, don't put me on the spot like that. Oh my God. Oh, James Cameron is my favourite at the moment.
Okay, and then
It is what you made earlier.
Cameron.
Hey, hold him still.
James.
He looks like a drunken Cameron.
wow.
Oh, yeah.
We've got.
So that was a Christmas present. I love that one because it's just so nuts. He's been running around at night yelling at all the Avatar figures to have more sex. So he's a demented person trying to make some sort of bizarre Terminator Avatar crossbreed. There's just, although that might be me. I'm not
Hopefully,
sure. Anyway.
Avatar will come out sometime. One day, Avatar 2.
I want to see that in Oculus. Jesus. I never will take Oculus off ever
We've
again.
got a question from Martin, Nitro Watt. What's your armour made of? The stuff you're currently wearing?
All right, I'm trying to find an original piece of the rolling shoulder pads is near next to impossible, and finding them in the right size as well is also near next to impossible. So I managed to get hold of about 8 sets of shoulder pads from a local gridiron group who were just throwing them away, and I cut up 4 of them to take all the pieces and the sizing out of all the different bits and put them all together to make a piece that fit my body in the appropriate size. So there is a hybrid of about 4 different sets of gridiron armors. So there we go.
It's like you said, you need to go through the bits box and see what works, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
the case.
And what's your favourite not post apoc cosplay? Mark Stundin wants to know.
Okay. I don't know. Comedian, absolutely. I've done Groot. I've done comedian. If anyone's interested, I've got a cosplay page on Facebook called The Mighty Wes, which I can probably put a link towards that. I've got a whole bunch of little thumbnails that sort of show the stuff I've been doing over the years. I mean, there's a lot of Mad Max stuff in amongst it all, but yeah, I love doing the comedian from Watchmen. Oh man, he is crazy good fun. My female friends will more often than not come near me because got a little kind of violent, misogynistic, rapey kind of side happening when you do that.
No, no.
Did you see by any chance the Watchmen TV show?
Oh,
I
God,
loved it.
Brilliant. It was
was
hands
stunning.
down the best television
Definitely.
show last
If people
year.
haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Watchmen TV show. It was on, I think, HBO, and then originally, and then sort of streamed locally on whatever channel. I must admit, I didn't understand what the hell was going on for about the first 6 episodes, and then it all tied together. Stunning,
no.
Absolutely stunning.
You go back and watch it again, and when you're used to these new characters, and it is just mind-blowing. It's woven together so beautifully. The writing is exquisite. It literally, when they say, edge of your seat viewing, the last couple of episodes,
Stunning.
literally were edge of the seat viewing. We couldn't sit back. You were right into it, every little detail, absorbing it. I must admit, it was one
of my favourite shows from last year. Have you got any recommendations, any films or anything, or any other TV shows that people might want to check out while they're sort of sat at home?
Oh, there's a movie. I think it's called Mad Max Fury Road.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good.
It's not bad. Yeah. Waterworld's worth having a look at. The Postman. I like the Postman.
With his
That's
donkey.
Really good. Yeah. Oh, the Tiger.
That is
Tiger King.
Are we watching that at the moment?
It looks. If it was a film, you think this is just so bizarre and out there, but they're real people, and this really happened. It's just wild, isn't it?
It is train wreck viewing. It is tremendous.
Is it great?
No.
Shut up, Tony. Not now, Tony.
A
No,
big
Tony.
shout out to who else have we got online just before we go?
Okay, well, Tony Broad, he wants to know, are you working on any new cosplays at the moment?
What have I got? I'm making a 300 costume for a friend's birthday, which has been pushed back to later in the year. I've got plans for a few others. Do I want to share them? No, I don't. I love doing steampunk stuff. I'm obsessed with steampunk and run numerous large steampunk role-playing events 6-7 years ago. But when Wasteland came along, it kind of pushed steampunk to the side for a bit. But I'm keen to get back and do some more delicate, nuanced steampunk costumes in the future. Taking all the stuff that I've had previously and stripping it all down and rebuilding it with a lot more detail and a lot more delicateness.
A lot of our guys come from the steampunk background in the UK. So there is a festival we play every year, an amazing one called Asylum, which is, I think it's Europe or the world's biggest steampunk festival.
I've got some friends who go to that.
Absolutely amazing.
But would you consider that steampunk and Wasteland are kind of the same side of the coin? It's just like they both have the same kind of level of technology, that's kind of that clockwork steam-powered sort of stuff. And it's very basic tech, but one side's just a little bit more brassy, a little bit more
clean,
kind of delicate. And
Yeah,
the other side, is just the
But one of
dirty
them's got V8s, therefore they win.
But
and a lot of dirt and dust.
But it's
and
also
muscles.
nice as well because we've got a lot of fans when we go and play Asylum. So a couple of nights there being all the steampunk gowns, etc., and then on our night they get all dirtied up and all Mad Maxed in the Coulter V2A. I think the whole bit about getting into sort of cosplay and dressing up and building costumes, I think it works for all the different scenes. You can like multiple different scenes because it just means a different costume to build. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Just a quick diversion. You asked earlier about what people were drinking, and I think the best one comes from Rose, strangely enough, as in Captain Timmy, which is sipping cream moonshine, butter pecan moonshine.
Oh Lord.
Oh dear.
Very yummy.
Apparently goes good in coffee, but she doesn't say she's actually drinking
Pure
it with coffee. I think she's just necking it. So that's next time we go to Wasteland, Rose, we need some of that.
Brilliant. Okay, I think we're nearly coming to the end. So, any final, Enos, over to you, Mechanised, any final shout-outs or anything?
No, thank you for everybody joining us today and for Steve joining so early for Australian time. It's just super great to see everybody coming back every time and we have a new show on, and we have some awesome new guests as well assigned for the next couple of weeks. So yeah, just make sure you stay healthy and don't catch that C thing. And yeah, and hope I see you all on Saturday. Take care.
Well, chlamydia.
Well, you shouldn't
bunch.
catch that one. Social
Conjunctivitis.
distancing. No, social distancing. You shouldn't catch the
Social distancing doesn't start with a
that's
C.
No, exactly. But so it doesn't.
Just from my
chlamydia then.
side, it's Steve, it's a pleasure as always getting you on, mate. You are such a laugh. You're an awesome guy. We always have great fun. And it's the first time we've sort of chatted and I've not seen your bottom. So that's always a plus.
Well, I can
No!
fix that.
No!
Kill the
Kill the
feed!
feed!
By the way,
Kill the
God.
feet.
Jen,
Break
do
the
something about
Oh
internet.
my
it now.
God.
Oh,
No,
No,
Terry!
No,
no,
Terry!
Terry.
Okay. Skelly, anything from you, sir?
Thank you, Steve, for telling us all about your bottom and showing us your wonderful toys. Thanks for you guys having me on again. And times are hard, so day drinking is allowed. So if you need to, just have a tipple.
And Stig, over to you.
Yeah, another brilliant evening. Thanks you guys. Thanks Steve. Thanks Drone. Thanks Mech. Thanks Skelly. Thank you everyone in the chatville. Great to chat to you. Steve, I put up your cosplay Facebook page on the chat, so that's up there already. They've got that if you want to have a look. And there's another pic of Wes and the Golden Youth on the Cult of the B2A Facebook page.
We will add the
That's
links.
all.
I'm just going to, goodbye from everybody from our side. I would just like to say a big, we select a member of the Cult of V2A every show. And let me just stick this up. This is Bobby. A nice picture from Bobby from Junktown in Czech Republic. So. Excellent, and see you all on Saturday night where we have the amazing Ryan Brown from Marvel and DC on the show. Cheers, guys. Look after yourself. But stay safe. Bye.